Hello, today is April 26, 2024. My name is Benjamin Wilford Brown. I'm routinely recording video logs to catalog different entries as I experience my difficulties and go through a bunch of different things here in Canada as I try to file an asylum claim against the United States government. They, as of the moment, have denied my claim due to a domestic violence charge that I have in Monterey Park with a Jennifer Palos. Jennifer Palos comes from a military clone family, genetically engineered, like I came from. And I have substantiated evidence that proves that I have a ghost implant microchip implanted in my brain that regulates my body functions. I'm actually a type 2 diabetic that I inherited diabetes from my father, Thomas Eugene Brown, and I also have diabetes from my grandmother's side. Um, I have proof that a bunch of the things that have happened to me have been planned, coordinated events, and that I'm in fact being manipulated and remotely controlled, and if not advanced technologically controlled into committing crimes and doing things that I am in fact being compelled through psychic influence or some other means. I have witnessed psychic ability that is powerful enough to influence mist and moisture in the air and even clouds. But I will also say that this device that is in my brain also makes it so that I'm not exactly capable of knowing what it is that I'm witnessing. Sometimes I see things like mice that aren't there, or squirrels that aren't there, or rats that aren't there, or ladybugs, or cockroaches, or flies that aren't there. And I just have to operate under the assumption that they're really there, but I'm not really sure if they're there or not. And it has been made known to me that they can do the same thing with people. You can be in a room and be talking to someone, but the room is actually completely empty. So I'm recording this because I've gone to the federal court to make a motion for redetermination because they awarded me a dismissal when I applied for judicial review and redetermination. And I'm moving for a redetermination of his dismissal under the Canadian law, which basically states that if there is a law or if there is a judgment made by a lower court, that I can appeal to a higher court under the assertion that there is a system that is in fact at work, that is outdated or has become out of date. And in fact, I have substantiated my claim that I am being influenced into committing crimes, and I can also, in some way, shape, or form, possibly prove that I am type 2 diabetic in need of insulin shots, even though I consume sugar regularly. I believe that it is their goal to remove me from Canada, and as soon as they remove me from the Canadian territory, to arrest me for something either in the North American territories or for something else. Maybe their goal is to make sure I don't get asylum status because their goal is to come and arrest me with federal agents for something that my clones have done, or for something else that they've fabricated, or some other charge. There was an incident that in which I got my camera stolen by a bunch of transvestites with the help of federal agents. It was a staged event. I've been in a staged and contained environment this whole time. I've been influenced into prostituting myself, which was also a contained and pre-planned event, and my evidence substantiating this, that it was a planned coordinated event and it was something I was influenced into doing, was that there is a Joy Division. There's a band called Joy Division named after a branch in German military during World War II, during the times of the Holocaust. And Joy Division was essentially a division associated with reducing Jewish women to prostitutes and breeding them with soldiers, or not breeding them with soldiers, or they were essentially raped and reduced to prostitutes. And I'm relatively certain a lot of the music subject matter is elusive of me. I don't listen to it because I think it's in poor taste. I don't eat pizzas anymore, and I don't eat pastas and spaghettis, or very seldomly. Um, I'm supposed to be celebrating Passover. The only reason that I'm not inherently celebrating Passover to a T is because I am in distress and I'm completely unaware or uncertain of when the right time to practice Passover is. I inherently believe in Judaism and Islam, but I do not believe that the people that I'm surrounded by have my best intentions at heart. I believe that part of the reason that I'm being slowed down when I'm exercising is to inhibit my capacity to defend myself against policemen that are intent on arresting me, to help cover up the fact that they've gang raped my children and killed and murdered and replaced members of my family, English, German, Mediterranean, and Indian, Arab, and Native. And I believe that the only sole reason that I, in fact, exist is to gain traction with the public and to expose the ghost technology and the time travel technology and the genetic engineering programs that are associated with the ghost technology. So one of the things that they've been doing is they've been damaging my clothes, and I really don't have any money. And this year, I'm actually not getting a tax refund, and it's rather upsetting. I was supposed to get a tax refund, and I'm at the moment appealing and motioning for a redetermination of my dismissed judicial review. I have several excerpts and or not several excerpts, but I have several words in the English and French and Spanish language that assert and substantiate my claim. And they can't essentially say that it's meaningless or that it's not at all connected to me, which means that they're supposed to pay a little bit more closer attention to me. And I do believe that might be English and French and German and Spanish espionage teams that are relying on me and counting on me to be here. I don't believe that they can solely be Catholic, primarily because I don't believe that Spanish Catholic would ask me for help just to gain traction for an evil team. If in fact the evil team has won already, there would be no purpose or no need to create me and create this event in order to consolidate their powers and efforts, especially if they're in complete control to the point where they can influence people's thoughts, decisions, and actions. It just doesn't make sense that evil doers behind the Catholic Church are already in charge and they're in control of every thought and action all over the world, but they need to do this event to reassert their control, which means that there's absolutely no other rational explanation. If time travel is in fact a factor in this equation, which it is, then their team's already lost. And all I can do on behalf of my native tribes and on behalf of the impoverished Arabs and impoverished Mediterranean people that and middle class Arabs and middle class Mediterraneans and middle class natives and middle class French and English and Spaniards and Germans is in fact fight this here, fight this legislatively, and in an effort to gain some sort of traction and to try to get the attention of the legislative body in British Columbia and in Canada, in an effort to engage the English and French and Spanish and German governments. And if I can't do that, then I will be forced to defend my life here, because they have the capacity to remove me from the equation and then just transplant my clone, who they've raised and that they're comfortable with, either because he's raped children or killed natives or killed Africans or killed Englishmen or killed Mediterraneans or killed Indian Arabs that everybody was fond of or relied on or felt like were trustworthy or something, which in fact is the way to gain access to hardcore training abilities. I mean, there isn't a single man out there that isn't tied to child rape or tied to human trafficking or drug trafficking that doesn't have access, or every single bodybuilding super military like outfitted male and female are tied in some way to child abuse, child sex scandals, and human trafficking. One of the things that they've been doing, other than hindering my capacity to work out, is they've been poisoning my food. I just want to exhibit this primarily because they're poisoning my water here in my home and in my job site. And I work out regularly, and they're putting something in my food that makes it so that I gain a belly. So it has to be some sort of sodium, whatever it is they can test for. But with the things in everybody's foods being tainted here, and everybody submitting to some sort of state program that poisons people's food, I mean, I'm surrounded by what looks to be like heavy-set people. It seems like depending on what teams they're tied to or what families they're tied to, their foods are being poisoned. I know that there are Inuits that are related to Italian people. I know that it's purported history that Italians and Asians met and married each other. But I don't really understand how it is that they planned on resolving this conflict and then drew me into it when my decisions or my efforts would be to participate in their global liberation or their global ascension. I'm not the Messiah, and I'm in some way do believe that I'm to some degree or another exemplified as what could be a messenger of God. And the reason was because it was explained to me that Job in the account in the Torah was a messenger of God in the sense that his existence exemplified a story or a message to the people of Israel. And the story was, you can do everything right, and you can follow the law, and you can be living your life in accordance to the law, but still bad things happen to you, and you just need to be prepared for those things. And ever since I've been circumcised, I haven't masturbated. And on top of not having masturbated, I don't look at pornography. I've been psychologically abused since I've been here. One of the things that happens when I get psychologically abused is usually I drink and I do drugs and I masturbate a lot. And I haven't masturbated ever since I've been circumcised, and it seems like things have changed for me subtly. So it seems like there seems to be some sort of level of influence over the ghost field that my circumcision has accomplished. And I do worship, I do practice the day of rest rites. I don't call it the Sabbath because I'm either convinced that calling it the Sabbath was an effort to drive me away from Judaism, or calling it the Sabbath was an effort to guilt me or impose the guilt of paganism on me, because the Greek church purports the God of Israel as God the Father, which is Abba, and his name is Abraham, as in A-B, Abraham or Avram, but I don't think that that's acceptable. But I do know that the word for number 7 is Saba, and the word for Saturday is Sabado. And I don't really think that I'm in complete denial, because that would mean that the 10 Commandments are self-refuting, which means worship no other God other than me, and then call me God the Father in association with Christianity, which purports Jesus as the Son of God and the devil as the opposing force in the relationship of humanity engaging itself and exposing itself and becoming whatever they are. I do believe that there is somebody else watching me here other than the Canadian government. If I'm tied to the top 5 major religions in the world, there's absolutely no way that the most brilliant and spiritually minded of minds were all acting out of selfishness and out of greed. And I'm hoping that that something happens and that I get to stay here and that I get to engage the government through some diplomatic means. But I'm always getting picked on by ghost agents. They're always really saying obnoxious things to me about Europeans, about how they're gay, um, about how black people suck on European guys' dicks, and how Indian Arabs and I don't even want to like say all the things that they say about people, but they're like really mean to everybody. And it started out with just black people, like they're really driven to try to turn me against black people, and I have some resentments towards them because of the status in the Caribbean. But my understanding is if I'm part German, which I do believe that I am, and the Mozart music has something to do with me, and I'm under the impression that Eine kleine Nachtmusik was made specifically for me, that also the German operas were also made for me, because I would have some resentment against the Italians because of the Greek church and their efforts to harm me in order to validate their church. So, so I don't believe that Germany would go out of their way to take this Italian playing field, master it, and produce like the top three German music composers, which were Beethoven, Bach, and Mozart, which were my favorites, obviously. And then turn around and then just like kind of say like whatever, you're like our son, a strange son, but you're just screwed, and like whatever, I don't give a damn about you. I care more about the territory. The other thing that doesn't make sense is why would German engineers and Italian engineers go back in time and create black people and Asian people and Arab people and Indian people just to enslave them? That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, because if I have the capacity to build a solar system and to time travel, and I have those kind of resources, why would I selectively breed all those strains out of monkeys just to enslave them? I wouldn't be worried about European territory or American territory or African territory or any of those things. I'm trying my hardest here to kind of be patient with everything and everybody. I do feel like they're damaging me, like on top of putting stuff in my food and slowing me down when I work out, which bothers me because I know that they're essentially trying to arrest me to prevent me from gaining public traction and exposing these technologies. I know that they're deliberately trying to inhibit my capacity to have social mobility through financial means. And they isolate me, and whenever I go and complain through my phone or something like stupid like that, like I never really get any solid responses. They reroute my phone calls, they reroute my letters, they reroute all my internet logins that I do through like, internet channels and stuff like that to complain to like the Human Rights Charter and stuff. And I am essentially ignored. I've mailed stuff to the Geneva policing agency in Sweden, and I've never gotten any responses. So I do believe that I was led here for the sole purpose of killing me and replacing me with a clone version of myself. And if these people have ghost technology and ghost action, so I don't understand why they haven't just killed me and then ghost in like my clone cousin or variation or whatever. I just don't. I don't understand why they would find it important or why they would need me specifically, but I think that their goal is to traumatize me to the point where I'm not concerned at all with the general population. And I feel like that is self-defeating or like not the purpose for which I was made. I feel like it's in my inherent duty to be compassionate and be concerned with the general population, what it is that's being happened to them, or who it is that is in need of something. Because I feel like that is part of the problem that has led to the situation that I find myself in, which means that all of our world leaders are either so negligent or so corrupt or have been killed and replaced with somebody who doesn't give a shit, to the point where they've now imposed this situation on me. And because they can't fix the situation or answer for what they've done, they've in fact created a situation in which I'm being abused so that I behave just like them, in under the understanding that they might use me for something, or they need me to be compassionate or concerned with the general population. It's in fact something that's in the Torah that says that I take the lowly one and set him on high. I take the proud and haughty one and I set him on low, or I make him to stumble. And I do believe that somebody has some purpose for me in mind, and I believe that the purpose at the moment is to engage the English and French governments and the Spanish and German governments, and to try to say like, hey, you guys spent the last 100 years making me, and here I am. But it doesn't seem like I'm getting the kind of attention that I need or that I want. I understand as a messenger of God engaged in a challenge that this is part of my challenge, and part of my challenge is dealing with people that don't really sincerely worship God or don't really believe in mystical principles. In fact, that is implied by the story of Elijah who wars with the cult of Baal. Is that these people, they teach things that seem spiritual but aren't really spiritual or inherently wholesome. And that's what I'm at war with, is a bunch of people that have learned to bend mysticism to their own selfish ends or their own selfish means, and take spiritual ideas and principles and use them to corrupt people or enslave people or lead people astray. And I'm really eager to be of help, but I'm just completely isolated. And I know that these people are warring on my native tribes. I know that they are warring on all the reliable German engineers that would help or that participate in this thing. But it just doesn't make sense that, I'm a German, Bavarian, Italian engineer with the world at my fingertips. And like, I'm worried about islands, and I'm like worried about like money, and I have all access to all those things. There's no way there's in a universe full of minerals and ores and gases and all kinds of new life forms and all these crazy interesting things, and I'm over here worried about Caribbean islands, or I'm over here worried about gold, the price of gold. That doesn't make any sense to me. There's a bunch of these things that I've been taught. There's a bunch of things that I've been learning and that I've learned on my own. I'm essentially not really cool with the North American entertainment industry, which seems to be just another branch of the American government. It's hard for me to take any of their actors or acts seriously. But at the same time, it seems to be the platform through which I am relayed messages. There are tons of music acts related to me. There are tons of lyrics that allude to me or that give me comfort in some way, shape, or form. In order to stimulate me or to expose that there is like a track that I'm on, and that there's all these people that are associated with that track, and that somebody sees them or somebody knows where they are, or to initiate that person into initiating another specific person if they find themselves in that situation. But I know that they're that smart, and I know that the people that I'm at war with are that smart, and I'm not that smart, and I'm not capable of being actively conscious or actively engaging. I'm always inhibited and I'm hindered. When I sit down and watch things or read books, I'm never really absorbing it because there's somebody messing with a device in my head, impeding my capacity to study and to learn. I'm doing my best, and I really don't know what else I could be doing or what else I could do to help initiate a change or to get the right person in government's attention to pay attention to me and say, okay, oh, you're here. Oh, okay, you're here. Let's make sure that you stay here, and that we start looking into this ghost field and start looking into this LSD brainwashing program and this child molestation program. I mean, that's why I'm here. Obviously, somebody somewhere in Germany is pissed off about the homosexuals in their community and about the men sodomizing the women or men sodomizing each other. It's kind of like a normal thing in popular American culture. There's songs that allude to sex with the anus, or that purport the butt thing is being cute. And there's actually ghost agents that lurk us, that influence us into being attracted to the anus to make us sodomize the anus. And those same ghost agents are also the agents that influence men into being gay, and influence men into getting sex changes, and influence men into dressing up as women and being gratified by having sex with the anus. Which means that the level of integrity in the ghost field is just so minimal to the point that these people essentially treat us like livestock and expendable resources, which I know that I am. And I don't feel like it'd be a particularly big deal if I got killed here, although I do know that I was supposed to have died about 7, 10 years ago from cardiac arrest. And like I said, I have diabetes and I don't take insulin shots. I would like very much to present my evidence, like things like little angel eyes. I know is a direct allusion to me. If you see my eyes, the iris in my eyes in the sun, then you will see what looks like desert dunes. And I know that this is an allusion to the god of the desert. My father had green eyes. Again, I'm relatively certain he was engineered. My mother, who is Mexican and essentially had dark brown eyes. But I don't know. I feel like I'm going kind of through a lot, and I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really know how much better I could be doing for these people. People break into my room regularly. I'm operating under the assumption that there are people associated with Interpol and with the FBI. It seems like there's Italian mobsters that really have it out for me. There's like movies that allude to the fact that there's somebody that wants to kill me and take my identity, like The Talented Mr. Ripley. It seems to involve the Italians in some way, whether it's a positive thing or a negative thing. Homosexuality seems to be relatively acceptable in Italy. And in the story, the person that kills the main character and takes on his identity seems to be a homosexual. And it wouldn't surprise me if there was a bunch of people that are involved in this operation that were so traumatized or so damaged that they wouldn't mind somebody killing me and then replacing me with a homosexual. I'm just going to keep following through and keep trying to do whatever it is that I need to do. I've warned them several times. I've gone to 3177 Jacques Street to Mark Miller's Montreal office to post stickers all over his office to let him know that, like, look, I need you to talk to me. I need you to let me know what it is that's going on because I feel like you're ignoring me and I'm totally an important person and I'm totally supposed to be here and I'm so totally supposed to talk to you. But I feel like I'm not getting any real active responses or not an active response enough. And I feel like there's an effort to try to drive me from the territory and replace me with somebody who isn't upset with the leaders of the English or French or North American militaries or governments or whatever, in an effort to try to sweep under the rug the sexual assault of my children or the abuse that I've suffered my whole life. One of the things that happened to me was I was influenced by a psychic or a remote control operating system of some sort into putting my mouth on the genitals of my female dog. Either in an effort to insult the women that I would date or the women that I've dated. I would do a bunch of other weird things too. I've sodomized women. I've never sodomized a man. I've never been sodomized by a man, but there's been like stints in homosexuality where I've had a penis in my mouth in an effort to feminize me or to condition me to be accepting of homosexual behaviors in an effort to reduce my status as a messenger of God. It sounds like it just might be an elaborate war game, but it doesn't sound like it can't be more important than just some simple war game because it's tied to the construction of our solar system and it's tied to advanced technologies and the evolution of our species, which is very much in danger if in fact there is a conspiracy in the ghost field that is intent on reducing our status from evolving, thinking, rational humans to animals that base their choices and their decisions impulsively, like food, shelter, and sex or whatever. So I'm not going to let this video get too much longer than 28, 29, 30 minutes. But I'm hoping that if something does happen and I get shot or something, that this evidence is at least on my phone, but they'll probably steal my phone. They regularly steal my phone. And I'm actually on a closed circuit internet loop. So not everybody has access to me. It's only the people that are immediately around me, whatever that means. So happy Passover, to all you people that believe in God and all you people that are sincere about worshiping. I didn't get all the chametz out of my house. I cleaned my stove and I cleaned my restroom today in the honor of the day of rest, and I cleaned just about everything except my drawers, and I didn't remove all the chametz, but I ate matzos. If there's any truth at all to what is in the Torah, then Moses says it's what's in your heart, and not just what's in your heart, but I mean it's not in the heavens for you to have to fly to go get worshiping God, and it's not like it's not so far from you. So I've gone out of my way to show people that my efforts and my desires for true Orthodox Judaism to be sincere, but I feel like something's wrong, or I feel like if I too closely identify with the Hasidic movement, that I'll get in trouble or something, because they do call it the Sabbath, and that's alarming to me. I've been to some of the synagogues here in the area, and they say Amen after they're done praying, and I was taught that Amen is an allusion to Amun Ra, and that's also why it's called an amendment, because it's meant to revoke or void, the prayer's efforts towards being true towards the one true God. So that's where those words come from, or whatever. Anyway, that's it for today. It's Friday, and I'm gonna try to do my best to just sit around and figure out what I'm gonna do. But there's still PRA, and if they don't give me that, or even if they do give me that, I'll be ready to defend myself. And I've sent text messages to the people that are monitoring my internet activity regularly, letting them know that not only am I cursing them for having abused me, but I'm warning them that I will defend my life, because they killed my father and they kidnapped my children, and they replaced my children with clone copies of other people's children, and I don't even know who I am or why they're doing this to me. But I will fight in defense of my life, and I will be justified. So happy Passover to all you people that are deserving, and happy day of rest. Enjoy life and enjoy God, and try to be optimistic. My prayers are for you. I want to help you and contribute to your efforts of global ascension and global liberation, and I don't mind if it costs me my life. But please watch over all my sons and my daughters, and lead them into welcoming hearts, homes, and arms in every sense of the word. And I believe in the Abrahamic covenant, so I don't believe that I'm going to die until I've been married and produced an heir. So there you go. See you later.